Hey there, I'm Kevin Chaikin, and today I'm going to share with you how to enroll in Medicare online when you're turning 65. Now, please note before we go through these instructions, if you are taking your Social Security benefits already when you're about to turn 65, you'll be automatically enrolled into Medicare, and you should receive your card in the mail about 3 months or so prior to your birth month, which would also be your effective Medicare effective month. For those of you who prefer not to do things online, you could certainly contact Social Security, set up an appointment in person. You may have to wait a while to get that appointment, but that usually is a pretty effective way to do things. And otherwise, you can show up at the office, which again, that's at your own risk if you really want to go down there and wait, but that would be an option. Many people, however, these days are going to do this online, and Medicare has started making it much easier for those turning 65 to enroll in Medicare during their initial enrollment period online. As a reminder, this can be done 3 months prior to your birth month. So, for example, if you were born on October 15th, your Medicare is going to start the 1st of October, and you could apply for Medicare on July 1st, which is 90 days ahead of your start date. And I would definitely recommend, if you are going to go ahead and follow these instructions in the video, that you do this as soon as you're able to. So the 1st or the 2nd or 3rd of the month when you're first able to enroll, as it can take upwards of 6 to 8 weeks sometimes, depending on what office you're going through. So it's important that you get ahead of this, because nothing else with your Medicare can happen until you've taken care of your enrollment into Medicare Parts A and B. So without further ado, stay tuned and let's show you how to apply for Medicare A and B online at 65 in under 10 minutes.
What you're going to do is go ahead and visit ssa.gov, click Medicare, and then click in the table of contents on how to apply for Medicare online only, and then apply for Medicare only with that blue button. In this screen, you can read through the terms of service. You check the box that you understand and agree, and click Next. Read through this screen, find out what you need to have handy, and then you'll go ahead and start a new application there in the middle of the screen. From here, you answer some questions about who's applying, whether you have a Social Security account, and whether you have an address in the United States. Now, in this scenario, we're saying we don't have a Social Security account, so we can show you how to do that. So you click Create an Account. From here, SSA uses login.gov to allow you to sign in. You would go ahead and click Create an Account again. Go ahead and enter your email address. Choose your preferred language. Check that you read and agree to the rules of use and click Submit. And now you're going to get an email. So head on over to your email inbox, where you're going to find that email and click Confirm Email Address in the email login.gov sends you. You'll then create a password, which it will tell you whether it's weak, strong, or not. And then once you hit Great, you can go ahead and continue. From here, you can choose an authentication method setup, face or touch unlock, security key, government employee ID, an authentication application that you could use on your smartphone. You can also use text or voice message, as well as backup codes. So choose whichever one is preferred for you for your authentication method setup. In this case, we use text or voice message setup, so they're going to go ahead and provide us on our cell phone the code that we need to enter to go ahead and finalize our account. So in this case, we did a text or a phone call, and you enter your phone number in there. You can choose whether you want it to be texted or called to you. So go ahead and enter that number. Choose your preferred method of communication. Click Send Code. And then once you get that code, go ahead and enter that one-time code in there. You can certainly choose to remember the browser if you'd like to do that. Once you have the code, you can enter it. And then, of course, click Submit once again. Now you've created this account with login.gov. You can agree and continue. And now you're in your SSA.gov account, and you can read through these terms of service, what additional information that you'll need and what they'll do with it. Go ahead and feel free to read through all of this, of course, when you're doing this yourself. Once you do have a chance to read it, you can agree to the terms of service and go ahead and click on Next. And once you're here, your application has started. So you'll enter the information on the screen. First name, middle initial, last name, suffix, your social security number, your date of birth, month, day, and year. You will also enter your home address and your phone number. Of course, in this scenario, this is all not real information. You'll enter your own information here, but for privacy concerns and purposes, we're not going to show anybody else's. So once you complete all that, you would go ahead and click on Next at the bottom of the screen once again. Now, if you want to add an extra level of security, you can do that. You can choose not to. You could also use ID, photo ID, or input some ID and financial information. Totally up to you how secure you want it. In this particular case, we choose no thanks. Once you've gone ahead and chosen what level of security you'd like to use here, you will go ahead and select the radio button, click Next. Now, if you've already received a code by phone, you're going to do it again. So go ahead and get your activation code again. In this case, we choose text message. Enter the code once again in there. This will be a different code than the last one when you were setting up your SSA.gov account. Once you enter that, you will then go ahead on the bottom and click Submit Activation Code. You can read about how to protect information. We're not going to go into that here on this video. Now, we've got information about yourself as the applicant. Your name and date of birth and social are already in there. Choose your gender. They're asking if you're blind. That has to do with disability or access to Medicare. And then during the last 14 months, it's got a question there as well about your travel. From here, you're, of course, making sure your information is correct. When's the best time for them to call you? Any language preference you may have for reading and for speaking. And then your birth and citizenship information. City and state or city and country you're born in if you were outside of the United States. In this case, we did this to show the example of someone born outside the U.S. and then whether you're a citizen or not. You don't have to be a citizen to be eligible for Medicare, but there are requirements based on your resident status. If you want to apply for Medicare only, then you would click yes. If you're also doing Social Security, you can click no. Are you already enrolled in Medicare under a Social Security number other than your own? Typically, that's going to be no. Now, they're going to provide you a reentry number, which you should save. Go ahead and print that, write it down, whatever you prefer to do. In this case, we typically recommend saving that as a PDF onto your computer so you don't lose it. In case you have to stop your application to do something else and you need to get back into this. Do not lose the reentry number. You will need it, otherwise we need to start all over again. So do you want to enroll in Medicare Part B? Now, if you're only doing Part A, click no. But this video is showing A and B, so you'd click yes there. And then are you receiving Medicaid? Yes or no. Are you on a group health plan currently? Yes or no. If you have any remarks to enter here, you can enter them. Sometimes that may be a request for when they start, although when you're doing it during an initial enrollment period, leading up to your birthday, it should start on the first day of your birth month. In this case, we just wrote it in for the purpose of showing that we want things to start on the first of eligibility month, which is the first day of your birth month. Here you have the opportunity to review all your information that you've entered so far, as well as to go back and edit any of it. There's now an electronic signature agreement. You can certainly go ahead and read through all of that if you'd like to do that, and then agree with the electronic signature agreement above by checking the box. And at this point, you can't change anything else, and you go ahead and either go to the previous to edit it or submit now if you're ready to go ahead and submit your application. Great, now you get a confirmation. There will be a number there. You can probably write that or print that as well. And what you'll need to do next, you want to read through that. Now, in this case, this individual was born outside of the United States. They need to provide an original birth certificate or certified copy of that to the Social Security Administration. So that is an extra step. Not everyone will have to do that. If you were born in the United States, you should not have to do that step necessarily. So again, we like to go ahead and print things out as a PDF, or you can print it as a hard copy and save that so you have a confirmation for your records. And then click Done. So look, there you go. You'll be confirmed that you've gotten the that's been submitted, the application. You can now check the status of your application. So you're going to get a confirmation email. If you don't get that email, check your spam or junk. But I'd be concerned if you did not receive it. So you might want to call Social Security if you can't find any update or confirmation that you did complete your application. Of course, you can always sign back into ssa.gov to check that status. If you have any questions about this, you can always contact us. We're here to help. And we want to make this as easy as possible on you so you can know more and stress less about Medicare as you transition into it and not have to worry about whether you're doing things right, on time, or anything like that. Thank you so much.